The evolutionary history of gorillas is fascinating and dates back millions of years, directly linked to the evolution of other great apes and humans themselves. To understand where gorillas come from, we need to look back in time to the common ancestor we share with them and with chimpanzees. That it's believed that gorillas, like chimpanzees and humans, descended from a common ancestor that lived in Africa approximately 8 to 10 million years ago. This ancestor was an arboreal primate that moved through the trees and lived in the dense African forests. From that point, the gorilla lineage began to differentiate. Genetic and fossil evidence points to a gradual separation of the gorilla lineage. Molecular estimates suggest that the gorilla lineage separated from the lineage that would give rise to chimpanzees and humans around 8 to 10 million years ago. This was the first major split within the African great ape group, separation of the chimpanzee and human lineages. Later, around 6 to 7 million years ago, the chimpanzee lineage separated from the lineage that would lead to modern humans. This order of separation means that gorillas are our most distant relatives among the African great apes, but still share a close evolutionary history and a significant degree of genetic similarity. The fossil record of gorillas is more scarce and fragmented than that of other great apes and hominids. This is partly because their humid and acidic forest habitats are not ideal for bone preservation. However, important discoveries have helped fill some gaps. Corapathecus abyssinicus. One of the most relevant fossils is that of Corapathecus abyssinicus, discovered in Ethiopia and dated to about 10 million years ago. Some scientists consider it a possible direct ancestor of gorillas or a very close relative that lived before or shortly after the gorilla lineage split. The structure of its teeth and jaw suggests a diet more adapted to fibrous plants, similar to that of modern gorillas. Other fossils, fragments of other primate fossils with gorilla-like characteristics, have been found in different locations in Africa, helping to trace the distribution and early evolution of these primates. These fossils indicate that the first gorillas or their close ancestors were already developing adaptations for a more herbivorous diet and a predominantly terrestrial or semi-terrestrial lifestyle, which differentiated them from their more arboreal ancestors. Over time, the gorilla lineage diversified, leading to the species and subspecies we know today, the western gorilla and the eastern gorilla. This diversification was likely driven by geographical and environmental factors. Geographical barriers, mountain formations, rivers, and savanna expansions may have isolated gorilla populations, leading to their genetic divergence over millions of years. Adaptation to different niches. The two main species adapted to slightly different environments, lowland forests versus mountainous forests, which resulted in variations in size, coat, and even specific diet within their herbivorous nature. For example, mountain gorillas developed a denser coat for the cold, while lowland gorillas have shorter, shinier fur. A quick pause to ask you to like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps our reach. Species and subspecies: western gorilla, gorilla, western lowland gorilla, gorilla, more numerous and widely distributed, living in dense forests and swamps in countries like Cameroon, Gabon, and Congo. Cross river gorilla, Dealy, the rarest of all, with an estimated population of only a few hundred individuals, confined to a small region on the border between Nigeria and Cameroon. Its preservation is extremely critical. Eastern gorilla, Gorilla beringii. Mountain gorilla, Gorilla beringii famous for being studied by Dianfossi. It lives in the volcanic mountain forests of Rwanda, Uganda, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. They are adapted to colder, wetter climates, with thicker fur. Eastern lowland gorilla or Grauer's gorilla. Gorilla beringii graueri, the largest of the gorillas in terms of size, found in the lowland forests of the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. This subspecies has suffered a drastic decline in recent decades due to conflicts and hunting. Gorillas occupy a diversity of forest habitats, from dense lowland forests to cold and misty mountain forests, depending on the species and subspecies. Their fur color varies from black to reddish-brown, and fur density differs according to the environment. Mountain gorillas, for example, have longer, thicker hair to protect themselves from the cold. Adult males can reach an impressive 1.8 meters, 5.9 feet, in height and weigh over 200 kilograms, 440 pounds, while females are smaller, about half the weight of males. They have long, muscular arms, relatively short legs, and a characteristic face with prominent brows, a wide muzzle, and large nostrils. Older gorillas, especially dominant males, develop a silver patch on their backs, which gives them the famous name silverback. This characteristic is a sign of maturity and authority. Gorillas live in cohesive family groups, which can range from a few individuals to over 30. These groups are usually led by a dominant silverback male, who is the heart of the family unit. He has the ultimate responsibility of protecting the group against predators and solitary males, making decisions about where to feed and sleep, and mediating internal disputes. The hierarchy within the group is well-defined, and communication among them is rich and complex, occurring through a variety of vocalizations, such as grunts, roars, and hoots, facial expressions, and body postures. For example, a chest beat is generally a display of strength or a warning, not a sign of imminent attack. Their diet is predominantly herbivorous, which is remarkable for an animal of their size. They spend much of the day foraging to obtain enough food to sustain their large build. The diet primarily consists of leaves and stems, the basis of their diet, shoots and pith, nutrient-rich components, fruits, consumed when available and ripe, flowers and bark, vary the diet and provide additional nutrients. Occasionally, some insects. Ants and termites may be ingested accidentally or as a small protein source. Scientific studies and field observations reveal that gorillas are highly intelligent animals. They are capable of learning and even using tools in a rudimentary way, such as branches to test water depth or leaves to shelter from the rain. They demonstrate a wide range of emotions, comparable to many human emotions, including joy, sadness, fear, rage, and even grief over the loss of a group member. They form strong social bonds within their families, with complex interactions between individuals. Maternal care is intense and prolonged. Females dedicate several years to caring for and educating their young, who are born weighing about 2 kilograms for 0.4 pounds and are completely dependent. Infants stay close to their mothers, nurse for several years, and learn essential survival skills and social behavior by observing and imitating adults. This long childhood is crucial for the development of their complex social and cognitive abilities. Unfortunately, the situation of gorillas is alarming. All gorilla species and subspecies are classified as endangered or critically endangered by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN. The main threats driving them to the brink of extinction are habitat loss and fragmentation, the biggest driver of population decline. Large-scale deforestation for agriculture, especially palm oil plantations and pastures. Illegal mining for minerals like coltan and gold used in electronics. Logging and urban expansion drastically reduce the areas where gorillas can live and feed. Illegal hunting. Poaching gorillas are hunted for their meat, known as bushmeat, which is considered a delicacy or protein source in some regions and for parts of their bodies, which are sold on the black market for medicinal purposes or as trophies. Diseases. Their genetic proximity to humans makes them vulnerable to human-transmitted diseases, such as the Ebola virus. Ebola outbreaks have decimated entire populations of gorillas and chimpanzees in some areas. Civil conflicts and political instability. Many of the regions where gorillas live are plagued by armed conflicts, which enormously hinder conservation. Efforts destroy habitats and lead to increased hunting. Organizations and individuals worldwide are working tirelessly to protect gorillas and their habitats. This includes anti-poaching patrols. Teams of rangers risk their lives to combat illegal hunting. Sustainable ecotourism programs, especially in Rwanda and Uganda. Responsible gorilla tourism generates revenue that is reinvested in conservation and benefits local communities, encouraging them to protect the animals. Environmental education. Raising awareness among local and global communities about the importance of gorilla conservation and the dangers of consuming bushmeat and illegal products. Creation of wildlife corridors to connect fragmented habitat areas, allowing gorillas to move freely and maintain genetic diversity. Research and monitoring, essential for understanding populations and the challenges they face. Informing conservation strategies. The survival of these magnificent primates depends on continuous and global conservation efforts. Protecting gorillas is not just about protecting one species, but also ensuring the health of vital forest ecosystems that play a crucial role in climate regulation and the maintenance of global biodiversity. What did you think of this content? If you liked it, please like, subscribe, and share. Your interaction helps us reach more people. Comment on what animal you would like to see here on the channel. See you next time.